Welcome, guys, to the Straightened Out podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Jennifer Graziano, and the real Rob Pep. And we're also here with a very special guest, Kaitlin Reagan.
I love the claps. Thank you, guys. I'm very excited
We're
to
all
be
here.
here.
Audience.
I would say I'm
awesome.
starstruck again, but
Again, the first time Rob met Caitlin, he was like,
Oh my God.
Actually, we went to an
No.
event.
I didn't know this, Rob.
yeah, we told you, but
We told you, but it depends how many drinks in you were. The first time we were going to this event, Rob turned around and asked me, is Kaitlin Reagan going to be there? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm going to be starstruck.
That's how you know I was gone.
Could you even?
we did show up a little late, so I would expect someone to be a little tipsy.
Right.
It's all right. You got a free
I
pass.
appreciate you guys. Get me
Okay,
home
so you're
safe.
starstruck again. It's twice in a
No,
row.
I only got starstruck once.
That's
Come
it.
on,
It's a
twice.
one-time hit.
Now we're like,
Please.
now you're
we're
like
cool.
BFF.
yeah, now we're BFF. She trauma dumped on me. I trauma dumped on her.
Okay, yes.
We had a long ride
We
back
are
to
past
Brooklyn.
The starstruck.
Yeah.
Literally. I can't.
God.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Antonia.
What's going on, girl?
Oh my God, you always hook me up with the best hair
Thanks.
styles. Like, oh my, I just 10 out of 10. I will
Thanks.
talk about your hairstyles to the day I die.
I do what I can for my people.
Yes, you do. You
Thanks.
really do.
Thank you, thank you.
By
She
the
hasn't
way,
done my hair in about 5 months. But
oh,
whatever.
what you doing next month?
Girl, I got you whenever you need. Whenever you need, I got you.
Thank you.
How's life? How's things?
Life is good. Life's going. I'm trying to.
You're busy.
Ah,
For
yeah.
real. You just
You
came
know,
from an event.
you know,
Right, I
booked
know.
and busy. That's her.
Yeah, well, I also been looking at her stuff, and there's something about a New York boy and an LA boy.
Yeah. I'm causing chaos.
You are.
Yeah, because you know, I don't know how you could tell me if you think I'm nuts, but I feel like I deserve it right now. I'm like, this is my time. Like I was actually watching The Bachelor like recently, and I'm like, I want to be the Bachelorette, but I'm gonna do it in my own life.
Yeah,
So
for
that's what
real.
I'm setting up for myself over here.
I love that for you.
I just feel like it's important because I only knew like one man like majority of my life, so I'm like, I just don't want to like try and find him in someone else. Like I really want to understand like the variety of like different people and men. So
There's a lot of men out there. Shape, sizes,
Uh-huh.
skin colors.
I know.
Green flags, red
sketch, not
flags.
sketch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Green flags, red flags. A lot of red.
Deep
a lot of
pockets, no
red.
pockets.
I seen someone in res. I was like, oh no, what do I do?
Girl,
Mostly red.
do not. Those red flags are not fun. This is not Six Flags. This is not the circus. Run from them. Trust and
I'm
believe.
screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, period.
and
They'll
don't
get you
date any
nowhere.
guys from Staten Island.
Definitely not.
Oh, no Staten Island man?
No.
Ooh, T.
That's
There's no
that's
green
number one
flags
red
here.
flag.
Yeah. Where you
I can't
from?
promise Brooklyn's any
Staten
better though,
Island.
so I definitely can't promise Brooklyn's any better. You have the right idea. You got a man over there.
Exactly.
You got a man
I was
over
like, this
here.
is interesting.
Yeah, you have the right idea. You're
Yeah.
doing it right.
You
And
know,
how are you finding them? Just randomly or online
so
She's on Raya.
dating? I know.
Wait, are you?
no, actually, I'm on Hinge.
Okay.
I'm on my
so-
pending approval list on Raya.
Wait,
so.
same.
Say?
But I don't know why you're pending. I understand me. I'm a peasant in this life. But
No, you're not. No,
Do you
you're
need
not.
more referrals? I can get you too.
Yeah, please. Like, I'm just confused.
I know.
But it's fine. Hinge, but also like I really love like in-person interactions. Like I met somebody on a train. I met somebody in an elevator. I met somebody at a bar. So yeah, I really value those more.
I love your ballsy stories about like your approaching men kind of things that you've been talking about. I like you said you saw some guy who was like out to eat or something and you just kind of like went up to him, right? And gave him your number or something, paper.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was a while ago. Wow. See, I guess I really am the
She's
bachelor.
keeping it. She's keeping it.
I'm keeping up with Caitlin.
Yeah, I'm glad you are because I'm not keeping up with Caitlin. So yeah, no, that was I saw somebody out and I was really like a little bit nervous. It was actually my first time. That's why I forgot about it. But I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna do it the old fashioned way. So like I went back to my friend's apartment and like there was like a desk man when you walk in. And I was like, do you have a pen and paper? So I wrote my phone number down and I went back over to the guy and I was like, you dropped something.
Love it.
I love it. I love
So
it.
if your
I might
life
use
is
it.
coded as, if her life's coded as the Bachelorette, instead of roses, you're handing out a
Piece of
business card with your
paper,
number on it.
not even a
you gotta
business
get
card.
those.
Honestly,
Handwritten.
not even. I just bare
Down
minimum.
the shore, I knew this girl down the shore a few years ago. she had a stamp made with her phone number, her name and number. And when she saw a guy that she liked, she would walk up to him and she would stamp her stamp. And it said, Kaitlin and then the phone number.
Oh,
We may have to get you one of those. When's your birthday?
August 28th, 1997. Nah, the reason I want you guys to know, whenever anyone asks my age, I can't remember it. I don't know why.
I mean, I lie about my age. I'm forever 28, so I don't even know how old I am right now.
I forgot if I'm 28 or 29.
Not even going there.
Do you really? Do you really forget? Because
No,
I
I forget.
genuinely cannot remember my age.
No,
I'm like,
I
my
blocked it
26,
out.
my
The
27.
other day, I thought to myself I was 24. It was so weird. I'm sitting down like, I'm only 24. I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm
Now
not,
you're hyping
not.
yourself.
But wait, I thought I saw a Scorpio tattoo back there.
It's a Virgo. I think they're similar.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of
Are
people
you an
get
August Virgo or
confused.
September Virgo?
August, she just
August,
said.
yeah, August 28th.
Okay.
So
There's a difference.
September Virgos are scary.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to learn about the horoscopes a little more because I heard that's like a little life hack.
You're a fire sign. No, you're an earth sign.
Earth, yeah, like grounded.
Yeah.
So I feel like that goes well with me.
I do like Virgo women though. Virgo men scare the shit out of me, but Virgo women are good.
What about like what other signs of men?
Pisces.
Gemini.
First
Avoid
date,
all
what's
Stay
your
Pisces.
away
sign?
from Gemini.
Stay away from Gemini.
And stay,
Stay
away
away
from
from-
Aquarius.
I think Pisces are nice.
No, Pisces
It
men,
depends.
Cancer men, no.
Definitely no Cancer. They cry like
No.
bitches
Yeah.
all day long.
But Gemini and Aquarius, stay far away from. Scary.
Wait, is everybody single here?
Newly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Period.
oh. So are you on the apps?
Raya.
Okay, okay. See, so you got the more classy one,
That's
I
how we
think.
got on that
What's your take on dating other influencers, people who live their life online? Do you avoid it?
No, I feel like I'd be open to it because like they kind of get it a little bit more, but it also depends because, and I'm a little new to this, so you guys can tell me like what you think about it. But I think it's a little bit like when they're like posting like their abs. And it's like I don't know. It's a little. I need like I don't know.
have a rule
Okay.
that a man should not be on social media unless he's making money.
Agreed.
I think that's great.
Men on
Social
social media.
media.
Give me out.
Social media is for gays and girls only.
Period. Men on social media.
Any
need
straight
to be
man on
out.
social media that's not getting a bag, you do not belong on social media. I'm sorry. Unless you like own a business. Other than that, you have no business being on it.
I agree. I hate selfies. I hate men selfies. They bug me out. They skeeve me out. I hate the pics. No, it skeeves me out. Skeeves me out. There's a problem there. You weren't hugged enough as a child. I don't know, but it skeeves me out.
Yeah, no.
Your mother didn't love you enough or something. I don't know.
Period. Your father left at a young age, something like that.
Oh my
All
god.
of the above.
All of the above.
I see why it's called Straighten Out Podcast. You guys
So
are
you're okay
straightening
with
them out.
dating
Straighten everything
influencers
out.
and
You know what? Let me get back to you
Whatever
because I
that
never
means.
tried before.
All right.
So
What was the question?
I don't
I
know.
missed it.
Dating influencers.
Oh, gotcha.
But you know what bugs me
Mm.
out for you though? Like somewhere like, okay, so someone like Raya, there's like-minded people, right? There's
Yeah.
people that have a high like success rate, people that are this, people that are that. They're kind of in the same industry. But what bugs me out for you is like when you're on Hinge, there could be any old person on there that has been watching your TikToks. Like you have over 3 million followers. That's a huge reach. And beyond people that are following you, there's people that just see your stuff. And then even on Instagram, like your reach is huge. Social media is huge. If they're on a dating app, they're on social media.
I agree.
So it like bugs me out for you that people are gonna be like, I don't know, trying to almost like gaslight you
Gaslight,
or trying to
exactly.
like gaslight you and like use what
Like
they
they know
already
you,
know
exactly.
to like groom themselves to
it's
like
true.
be what you like or to be like whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's hard.
It is really hard. I'm trying because I put so much out there, like even talking about like my green flags, my red flags, and I'm like, damn, like people are really gonna try. But I feel like the one thing that like gives me trust and continuously helps me keep going and sharing this journey is like you can only like pretend to be someone for so long, you know.
course.
So like at some, which sucks because like the mask falls off, and that's what happened with one of the guys I was talking to,
Oh yeah.
New York guy or LA guy?
a New York guy,
New York, man, yes.
New York boo. So he was from LA.
Okay.
So I guess he was
That's
kind of
a
like
problem
LA.
right there.
I know. No, he goes to Columbia for college.
Nice. That's okay.
Right, and I thought
Green
it was
flag.
great. Green flag, and he was so smart, and I loved learning from him. But I did question, financially, are
Is that the
we?
guy who you posted about asking you like split something or
Yeah.
pay for something? All right.
He told me that his cars
That's
weren't
not a
working.
gentleman. That's a bitch.
I
Literally.
didn't know. I felt bad, but I did try having these conversations with him so many times. Like, I know you're a student, which is fine. Like when I was in college, I was broke. So, you know, you're also living in New
Yeah, but then
York.
you can't
That's all
date.
expensive.
You can't date a bad bitch if you're broke. Sorry. Next.
It was kind of just like you're trying to keep up with the big guys, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Because it makes you feel shitty. It's hard. It makes me feel shitty, making you feel shitty, and I feel shitty.
Well, let me ask you a question. If he would have said from day one, I just don't have it like that, but I still want to date you, what would you have said?
I probably would have said no. So I guess I appreciate like why he did try, but I feel like because we shared, because he also had testicular cancer, like Francesco, I really was like, I think I would have like been willing to still talk to him. Like, why don't we do like cheaper things then? Like, I'll like, I don't know, like a movie instead of like a big extravagant dinner. Like,
dollar slices and a can of Pepsi.
I would have been willing to kind of like lower my standards because of like the experiences we shared that were similar, but it was just the lack of communication and the walkie behavior for me that I just didn't like.
Yeah. He like really tried to keep up with the Joneses, and then after a while he like
Yeah, but you got to feel bad for that.
I did.
I don't feel bad for it only because
Be yourself.
no, but also I don't feel bad for it only because the way that he reacted when you were like, yo, what's up? Instead of just communicating with her, he kind of like turned around and was like, well, you wanted to go out and you wanted to whatever.
Blamed
And
it on
I
her,
took
yeah,
you
yeah.
out so many times.
Yeah.
Well, you owed me those drinks
Right.
because I spent money on you.
Right.
She don't owe you shit. You're a man trying to pursue her. You owe her everything. She didn't come looking for you.
Right.
He came looking for her. So like now all of a sudden it's gonna be her problem that you wanted to go out. And in this instance, she did explain that she didn't want to go out for drinks after dinner. He was the one that kept pushing it. And then when the check hit
And
the
then the card
table,
didn't
he was
work.
like, oh, my card doesn't work. I'll Venmo you. Never Venmo'd her.
No. And I really gave it a couple days like after, because I'm like, let me not like overreact. Maybe he's gonna send tomorrow. Like, why right now? Right, whatever. One day goes by, miss you. You know, can't wait to see you again next day. Like, are we just gonna pretend? Like,
Yeah, that's weird.
you know, like I can't keep going on. Like,
I can never
not
fake the funk.
for 100. Like,
Could never fake the funk. If I owe someone money, I have news for you. If I ever owed somebody money, I would never have a conversation
No.
with them unless my next conversation was, hey, I have that money for you. Where
absolutely
can I
agree.
No, there's
Or
no need
address
for us
it
to
and
speak.
and act like it doesn't exist.
I would appreciate if you addressed it. Like, hey, listen, like, I'm just letting you know, even if he wants to continue his lie, like, my card's still not working, but, you know, by the end of the
Yeah.
week, just pretend like you remember this happened.
Exactly.
He just, because he was hoping that,
You were gonna like
because
forget
he knows
about
what I
it?
do for a living, which
of
also was
course.
a little bit shitty.
Do you guys want to hear a wild story?
Oh, no,
I cannot drop the
scared.
name, but a very good friend of mine was seeing this guy from Brooklyn, okay? She left her debit card in his car one night. Took her like 3 weeks to get it back, okay? Over the course of the 3 weeks, she kept seeing like small charges on her card. She was obsessed with this kid. When we're off camera, I'm gonna tell you it isn't gonna. You can be like, okay, it makes sense. Kept seeing like small charges. She didn't say anything. Finally, 3 weeks later, they meet up. He gives her the card. So she waited like 20, 30 minutes, and then she finally confronted him and was like, hey, like, there was like charges on my card. Like I saw like $40 here, $20 there, $30 here. And she was like, a few of them were at bars. Were you spending my money? Were you using my card?
shit.
This kid turned around and said it was his father doing it.
Oh God.
I'm done. Why do I believe it was his dad?
Okay? This is what dating men is in 2023, 2024.
I just believe it was his dad, though.
And the person who this story about is gonna hear this and she's gonna die because
the daddies be
I
worse than
said
the boys.
you cannot make this up.
That's crazy.
What do
Yo,
you
that's
guys
so
feel about
stupid.
like splitting tabs?
Never
No.
happening. Not in this lifetime.
No.
What about you, Jen? We need
think
like an
if-
older point of view.
Yeah, I think I was raised where the man pays for everything.
Older,
You
not
live in that
older.
house, you pay all the bill. My mother never even had to work a day in her life. But I do feel if the man is pursuing something, whether he's in law school or whatever, and he's trying to do something with his life, and you can help out here and there, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, 90% of the time, it should be on him.
A man is a man is a man, and if you have to beg, borrow, steal, or use your daddy's credit card, you pay for my fucking meal.
Especially
Sorry.
if you invite them out. Like,
Well,
it's
yeah.
you.
Don't invite,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Don't
I'll
invite
never
someone
initiate
out.
a date. I'll never be like, hey, let's go to dinner. Hey, but a man will always ask me to dinner.
Right.
So if you're asking me, it would be like if I invited you somewhere, like if I invited someone to a wedding with me as my plus one, I'm not going to expect them to stuff the envelope.
Right.
This is a wedding for me.
Yep.
So I'm going to put the money in the envelope.
I agree.
See?
You're coming as my plus one.
That I don't think, like,
No,
the guys
I think
that
a man should be, first of all, maybe to accept it, but
He should offer.
in that type of scenario, he should offer.
He should offer. I wouldn't take it.
In
I
any
would be like,
instance,
no,
I've
you're
been in
coming
with that,
me.
they would pay. And it would be because either you say, no, I can't go, or you expect that you're paying because...
No, if I'm going to a wedding, and let's say it's
I get it.
friend's wedding, whatever, and I'm inviting someone to come with me, like, they're coming with me, they're doing me the favor. Like, if you're doing me the favor,
I
I'm
just
gonna
saw a
pay for
TikTok,
it.
I'm not kidding you, over the weekend, and the TikTok said, if a man is pursuing a single mother, right, who's raising her kids on her own, and if the single man, if the man asks a single mother out on a date, he should also be paying for the babysitter. That, like, a single mother should not have to go in her pocket because you want to take her out on a date.
I don't know about that. That's extreme,
But I'm saying, like,
okay.
the world that, like, we're living in right now is so crazy
Well,
that,
there's
like,
a lot of
this
single
is the way
mothers now.
people think.
Wow.
That one's extreme, but okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should be dating no man who ain't paying. There's no romance without finance. Period. End of discussion. And if you don't have money, you shouldn't date.
Well, what's your point of view on it if a man took you to dinner?
Honey, I have men that call and pay the bill that aren't even dating me.
Okay, so you want
And
someone to pay
vice
your
versa.
dinner, your meal.
No, I think it's different for me as where, like, if I'm pursuing someone
Yeah, how does that work?
with two men, it's different because
Right.
you don't know, like, the gender role. So,
I know,
like,
but I
really
want to know
can't
your,
speak.
like, I want to hear it from your point of view.
Me,
Would you pursue someone?
No, treat me like the bitch and pay all my bills. Pay for my food. I don't give a fuck.
Period.
But when it comes to my girls, if he's not paying, it's a no.
It's a no.
No,
It's the hardest
absolutely
no
not.
ever.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The splitting, the 50-50, like, unless there's a
Even-
ring on your finger.
Yeah, if you're in a long-term relationship,
Yeah.
and like I said, there's ups and downs in everyone's lives. Is one not doing good, then okay, we can cover, but you're going to pay me back, and vice versa. No, not the vice versa. If the girl's paying, you're going to get the money back. If the guy's not, I don't think you have to pay him back.
I'm sure.
My card will never be on a
I'm sure
motherfucking
the
table.
horror stories I can tell you guys, you know, our friends, you.
Don't say me.
These, no, not you, but I'm saying, like, we can attest to stories, like, girls that are leasing cars for these guys,
This is gonna
buying
make
them
us
houses,
unliked.
like, doing crazy shit.
by people that don't want to hear this. This
Who
is gonna
cares?
Be,
It's
no,
an
I'm just
opinion.
saying.
That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
If 50-50 works for you, it works for you. Listen, everybody has their
Yeah.
own thing.
it's a controversial one. As somebody that like went online was like, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah,
to
they're probably
see
gonna
so
think
50-50, I was like, wow. Like this
No.
is like politics.
Yeah.
Like what's
Exactly.
going on?
Who is somebody? One of
You
the
have
celebrities
girls
just-
saying
just
that
talked about
it's
this.
okay
Yes.
to do 50-50.
I'm getting yelled at like you spoiled.
These are the same
bitch.
people who go to
Who do you think you
Applebee's.
are? I'm like,
2 for $20. That's why they're saying okay.
It's the evolved way of thinking. Progressive young women who want to be
There's
equal.
no involvement. I want an
Jen's so
applesauce.
I am still very
Just like,
old
I'm not getting
school.
kids.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I'm into fucking gender
got
roles. I'm good. Let a man be a man and a woman be a woman. Period.
Yeah. You see
I
those?
don't want to evolve nothing. I'm against the woman who
You
formed
see
the
those
woman
TikToks
first.
and they're like, I don't know who wanted women to work like all those
Yeah, but I'll
every
fight
day.
her ASAP.
that was funny.
I don't know who voted for this, but not I. Keep my ass barefoot and pregnant in a kitchen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah?
No, I'm not going for that.
I'm
Never in a
good.
million years.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 So are you so success on the dating apps or no?
All right, so I just went on this last one from Hinge like a couple days ago. I don't know, like I wasn't really feeling it.
What's your type? Is it like
Wait, and I have to say, I'm not feeling it either because, as per your last video,
Yes.
he invited you to his house.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Never
I
go
don't
to
Okay.
want
someone's
it.
house.
to your house? No.
So the second day he said, "Would you want to come to mine to cook like an Italian feast for like a Sunday dinner?"
No.
And I was just like, "Ooh, like second date."
You should be
Oh,
doing the most right now.
That's what I was
This is
thinking.
like the impress me
Yeah,
stage.
I agree. And also, our first date, we went to a nice restaurant. The food was amazing. Like, kudos to him. He picked a beautiful spot, but he took me out to like a club after Pergola in like a.
Oh, please. Hookah is panty drop for hookah. Stop.
But it's also
Ew.
like we didn't even have a
Come
table to
on.
like
In a
sit
club.
down and yeah, like I
yeah,
just
but
wasn't-
Pergola's not a club. I was just there.
whatever it is. It just was like a party
A
music
lounge. It's a
blasting.
lounge with hookah and some music.
But you can't hear each
Second
other.
date, you don't know the guy. You don't go in private. You got to be out in public because he might fucking strangle you. in your
Literally.
bedroom.
Yeah, it's true.
Was the pergola guy from Brooklyn, or this was like,
No, Queens.
yeah, very Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island coded.
Queens is
Pergola
alright.
also is kind of hard to get into. So honestly, I kind of like him.
But I didn't like know anything about him too much. Like we could only talk about so much at a table. So for our next spot to be like loud music, I'm like, I don't want to dance with you. I don't know you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I was
you
just
wanna, like,
confused.
get to know someone.
Yeah, like
I feel you.
We're also just like standing at the bar, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do this for so long.
And then it's like comes to my house on my second date. It's like, ew, now I know what your intentions are. You're so gross to me. Like, I skeeve you.
Kind of. Even though I said
gave
something
me
to him,
the
I
ick.
was like, I literally said, I'm like, whoa, take it easy. And he was like, I didn't mean it like that. If I said Netflix and chill, it would have been different. I'm saying, let's cook.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Okay, and they said, let's make pottery and ghosts, but we still saw the way that went.
That's
so,
true.
Goodbye.
That's what I was like. I feel like this is
Wait,
cap.
were you on a dating show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's talk about that. How was that successful for you, or not?
So, this was during the time that so Francesco, who passed away, he was in a relationship with a girl for like 8 months. And during that time is when I went on the show. Because I was like, bet. Like, you gotta, okay.
Were you big on social media before the show, or?
Yeah. Because I was, I started because I was Justin Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl when I was younger.
Were you really? I'm screaming.
That's where this all really started. Like when I was back when I was 15 years old. So I got all these followers at the time, like having 7K was like 100K.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like a 15-year-old in high school. Like, look at me and my 7K. So what happened was I got these followers. I know this has been going on for ever, and I didn't know what to do with them. And then I went away to college, and people just kind of watched me grow up, starting to do cool things on yachts, the Miami lifestyle, and then in the mix of that, posting with Francesco just on
Where'd you go to
Instagram and
school?
stuff. FAU in Boca. Yeah.
My sister went there and majored in suntan and partying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my dad, after her second semester, was like,
Get your ass
bye-bye,
home.
get your ass home. I ain't paying for this
Yeah.
shit no more.
My son majored in not showing up to class.
Same. My sister too. Crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I was really good at the balance. I liked school for some reason. That's
Me too.
a fun fact. Yeah, I liked learning, but so yeah, that happened, and Francesco was with a girl, and I was like, I got the opportunity to go on a show, and they're like, just go for an interview, just see if you like it. And then I got on the show, and I was like, see you later. Watch this. You want to do that? But it wasn't as petty. He had to sign paperwork saying I could talk about him. He was super supportive. He was like, no, go. And then when I came home, I was like, hi. He's like, hi, I watched it. And we went
What
for
was
coffee.
the show? Tell us all about
Oh,
it.
yeah. It was called Paradise Hotel. It was on Fox. It was a love show, but also you can win money. The whole premise is you need to have a roommate at all times. So they would bring let's say I have my roommate was Carlos. They brought in ex-girlfriends to see if he would leave me to be with her and kick me off the show. They would just throw plot twist in the mix, and it was fun. You're the reality TV star, but I was just thrown off. They want you to be, and I don't know if this was your case, but for us, they wanted you to be extra and dramatic and chaotic. And I was just a little bit overwhelmed because all the girls were crying and cursing each other out. And I'm from Brooklyn. I was a little bit more well, what is this? What's going on? And
Yeah.
I wasn't as dramatic.
I was the reality producer, not the star. So yes, they do want you to be dramatic and chaotic.
yeah.
And,
I felt like I was a little bit boring. So
Well, we didn't watch it, but we will.
Yeah.
I told people off, but I definitely wasn't the ones
you
that were
win?
crying, screaming. I was so close. My roommate had sex with the other girl, and the other girl voted us off. It was the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It was a little bit, I don't know. It was okay.
So what happened when you came back?
So I came back, and I was just like, hi. And he was like, I watched the show. You carried yourself so nicely, blah, blah, blah. And we met up, and one thing led to the other. And I knew, even in being in college and just with my whole journey, that it was always him. And I didn't know if that love story would ever actually play out. But in my heart, I was like, ooh, how am I going to date someone feeling this way? Why can't I let this idea of him go? And we ended up getting back together because he felt the same way. He was in a relationship with a girl that he always was trying to make me be a certain specific kind of girl. We could go into what that girl looked like, but he ended up having that. He found that in another person. And what he realized is that he didn't want it. He was like, wow, I was chasing and trying to change her to be this person, and I get everything, and I don't even just something missing. So we get back into the relationship, and I was a bottle girl at the time at Bounce, which I didn't really love.
No way.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh my God, I'm dead.
I did not like being a bottle girl. The money was amazing, and I was almost to the point where it's like, it's so good. Like, how can I ever like leave this? Like, I'm about to be a bottle girl till I'm like 50. Like, if I could, like this money, like $1,000 a night.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. So I was doing that, and then COVID happened. We lost our jobs, and him and I started like posting TikToks just for fun.
Yeah.
And it just went off. I would have never thought like that would have been like my niche, because I was always trying to find different ways to grow on social media and build my platforms. And they just loved us.
Everybody loves the love story.
Yeah.
And that's how I first heard of you. I don't know if it was you or Ariana Gargano that basically.
It was Christina.
It was Christina.
Who brought
told
it
me to
up.
look up, and I don't know if you remember. I reached out to you. I wanted to do a scripted
I reached out
series.
to her. I was
Yes,
like
she
acting like
did.
your secretary. And I felt so bad because you like missed the call with her. She like DM'd me. She's like, hey, she's still interested. I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, you better get on a call with her.
Yeah, no.
That was a very hectic time in my life.
sure.
I would love to dive into that again.
And you should, and I love the way that you told the story, and we'll get a little bit more
Yeah.
into it. You told it from reverse, and that was genius to me, I think. And that's, if you ever do a scripted series or a film, you should do it exactly the way you did it with the podcast. But you want to talk about some of that?
Yeah, so let's talk about Francesca. Let's dive into that.
Oh, pain in the ass. I love my dark humor, but I don't even know where to start.
How old were you guys when you first met?
Okay, so we met. My life when I was in high school, I didn't have like a very fun high school experience, because I was like almost like dance moms, like school, dance for like 4 hours.
How
and then,
old are you
like,
now, just for reference?
How old am I now?
Yeah, like what's you really-
26. Gonna
You
be
don't
27.
remember?
Yeah,
That's what you don't remember.
you see how I
So, like,
stumbled?
what year did you graduate high school? Like,
2015, I believe.
okay.
So
I'm just trying to think back, like, you
Yeah.
growing up, like, in that era, like, my growing up era, like, we're not that far apart. in
Yeah,
age,
no.
but-
So I would just go to high school, and then I would go to dance, and I had Francesco, and he went to dance as well. He was a break dancer, and I was like the little ballerina. So like I just, all the girls loved him, and we ended up just being together, and like he was like my world, because all I did was dance, and he ended up leaving the dance studio just to like, he wasn't really good with school, so his parents were like, you can't do all this.
How
Like,
old were you guys?
you're slacking. 15-ish. But during that time of like being high school sweethearts, because I was so like school and then dance, he was more like like going out and doing all these things, and like he was the center of my world, but I was his, but not necessarily entirely. Like he was distracted.
'Cause he was a boy.
popular
He was a
guy.
boy.
Yeah, he was just doing his thing.
Hanging
and
out in Brooklyn,
Hanging
out
out
on the
in
block, in the
Brooklyn.
neighborhood. You're like the routine girl.
Yep. And he
She
loved
dances
it.
and
I
she
was
goes to
literally that
school.
stay-at-home girlfriend for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So when I came to him and said, hey, after all those years of being that stay-at-home girlfriend, I'm thinking
love
about
you, like,
going away to
cooties.
college in Florida. He was like, whoa, what does that mean? You know, what? He had everything. His stay-at-home girl, he could do whatever he wanted. And so I went away to college, and he wanted to try to long distance. And now, slowly but surely, I didn't have this routine anymore. I was living freely, and I was going out and
Finally
partying.
experiencing life.
And he was now working. And now tables have turned, and now I was the center of his
I
world.
love when those tables turn.
Right? Oh, so satisfying.
And they always do.
They always do. And he just, it didn't, the long distance just was not working out the way that I think we both were hoping. And we were young, and all his boys were like, she's probably cheating. What is she doing out there? We don't know. Got in his head, and he cheated on me. So we ended up breaking up. And that was like a huge thing, because I was just so confused. Like, how I'm not doing anything. I'm really not. And how do you like tell somebody that's so like, this is what it is, this is their truth? Like, that's not the truth. But if you see it that way, like, I can't, what can I do? Like, you acted on it, like you, whatever. So we broke up. And then a year later, he calls me and he's like, hey, like, I would love to meet up and talk. I was home from college for Christmas break. And I was like, great, like finally I'm gonna get that sorry, because they always come back, just like the tables always turn.
They always come back. And I never believed it, but oh my God, is it
It's
so
crazy.
True? It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Right, it took him a nice year and a half.
Always
A day, a
It
month.
could take an hour, it could take a day, it could take a month, a year.
10
Yeah.
years.
10 years, they always come back.
3 weeks.
Literally.
Always come back.
Period.
Yeah.
On that. Quote that, trademark
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Because when I found out he cheated, it was like through like text messages, but he never he lied about it. So he's like, oh, I was just lying to my boys, it looked cool. So I had to like walk away from the relationship, not necessarily with closure that I really wanted. So
Yeah.
when he really called me, I was just so excited for that phone call.
Isn't that the best feeling in the
Oh
world?
my God, I was like, finally.
It's like nothing could break your motherfucking stride that day.
Right.
It's like, try to knock me down, bitch. You can't.
Yep.
He came back.
He came back. So I get in the car with him, he picks me up, and I'm looking at him, and he looks so different. Like, what? Why has he not been going to the gym? Like, I was just like confused. I'm like, wow, like I'm doing good. He's doing bad. He's down bad. He must have really missed me from this breakup. But he looks at me and he's like, there's going to be a lot to talk about. And at this point, we're like 18, 19. And he's like, I got diagnosed with cancer. And I don't know what that means. I don't even know how long I have. But in case anything happens to me, I just need to make sure I come to you and say, I did cheat and I'm sorry.
Aw.
Wow.
Like, that was like all he cared to do just in case of anything.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
speaks volumes about who he is, though,
Yeah.
because he's going through that, and all he wants to do is come clean to you.
yeah.
Yeah. That says a lot.
So I was just traumatized, and I go home to my mom, and she's like kind of crying because he was like a little son to her. He was always over the
You
house,
grew
grew
up
up
together.
together like kids, and it was like a whole thing. And I went back to college, and I didn't get back together with him for a long time after that. But I would show up for him in the ways that I could. So I would like play Uno over the phones when he was in the hospital and things like that. And then we were like, let's try this relationship again. Like now, like, it's been, you're in remission. I think we could do the long distance. You've grown so much as a person. I've grown so much as a person. So we give this relationship another go. But this time now, he sees the world completely different because he almost lost his life. And me, all I know is yachts and parties in Miami. And I'm living like this luxurious, like the things that matter to him didn't matter to me because I'm like, that's so boring. I want this. And now, like, we're still not
He
here.
grew up like overnight.
He grew up
basically.
overnight, and
for a boy,
I couldn't understand
No.
it. I wish
there's
I
guys
could.
that are 30 years old that don't have that kind of outlook on a life right now.
Literally.
40, 50.
50, 60,
60, 70.
75 trying to pull a nice
Is
27-year-old.
this a man-hating blog? A man-hating podcast.
Clearly.
Yeah,
But they always say a guy has to like go through something
Yes.
to like change.
it's true.
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, is that always everybody's
it's real.
case?
Well, you know
It's
what it is?
real.
People go through things, men or women, and I'm a firm believer in like things either make you better or make you bitter.
True.
So it's like there's some people that would go through an experience like that, like Francesco had, and it might make him bitter and like resent the world and life and everything and be like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck
Yeah.
that, and go out there and be like, just like fuck everything.
Right.
Where like him, it actually like changed his perspective for him to be like more appreciative and
Yeah.
be filled with gratitude and like want to actually fulfill and like he did come to you and come clean and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's admirable that's how he would have taken this experience.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
could have changed him for the worse, you know?
Yeah, no, he like completely 360'd because he was just so like rock bottom, and he just really was just like, yeah, like this is like, he just like got it. He understood what life really was, and like I did not. And it's hard when he felt so alone because majority of the people around him, and his friends included, couldn't meet him at that level of like awareness.
Maturity
Yeah,
almost,
you
yeah.
know, so like he kind of got like sucked back into like the stupidity a little bit, would, do whatever, but it was just hard. So long story short, we found our way because they always say, like, no matter what, if it's meant to be, it will always be. No matter how far you move or how many times you fight, to a certain point, I was like, we tried this so many times. Like, I just don't think this will ever work. But
Yeah.
it found itself. So, yeah, we
And then you
Did the
documented
TikTok.
everything, right? Mm-hmm. Sad.
The way you speak now, like I couldn't ever like picture you like not like grasping at that.
I
Because like
was
it
so
wasn't
lost.
it wasn't that long ago.
No.
It sounds like it's like less than 10 years, right? Like you like 18, now you're only 26. Like
Yeah,
you
no,
talk
you're
so
right.
differently.
I know. That's true.
And like the way you tell the story and all that stuff, it's like hard for me to like if I would have known you then, I would never think you are
Same.
the way you are now.
It's crazy. I
If
always
you get
think
what I'm
about
trying
like
to
that.
say.
Yeah, that version of me. I'm like, I can't believe like she existed because like I'm so different, but like I need to be her to be me.
Yeah.
So I like value that little girl.
Now, I wasn't following you, like, from back then when you were going through all that stuff with Francesco and, like, everything. I kind of found you, like, later now into your healing journey. But was there a time, like, between losing Francesco and like now almost that you just kind of like took a seat back with your life and was kind of just like, I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm like, where you just lost yourself completely through all of it?
Yeah, I mean, after he passed, because we took everybody on the journey, I came to social media and I was like, hey, like, he passed. And that was like a big deal for me because me and his family were like entirely like in denial to a certain degree. So it was just, the way I showed up to social media was like every day was like, it's going to be okay. Like, keep him in his prayer. We got this. We got this. So for me to come in and say, hey, he's gone, everybody was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I went missing. And during that year was the just rock bottom. Like, it's such a blur. I just know that I didn't really care to do anything other than just lay down.
Right.
Like, I lost in, like, it just felt like there was no real reason for me because I think for so long he was my purpose, like, just taking care of him as a caretaker became, like, my life and something I obsessed over.
Yeah.
That, like, and I know his mom, like, has that similar, like, feeling. It's just, like, what the fuck do I do now?
Right.
You know, so it was a long journey. I even was like, I don't even want to go back to social media. I'm not even sure if it's something I love. So I was thinking about like going to law school or something like that. Like, I don't know. I just was like, I just don't want to do it. And then one day I woke up and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to lay in my bed and do nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, well, how long? And there's no timeline, but you just get tired of it one day. And you're like, I'm over this. So I woke up one day and I was like, okay, like, I don't want to lay here and like have people drag me out of bed. I'm getting out of bed. I'm tired of like everybody, you know, giving me the pep talk, talking to me like a little baby, like a little dog. I got up, I got in a shower, I started touching my face with some skincare. I was like, okay, you know, all right.
You could do this.
Well, for such a sensitive subject, you guys, and for him to allow the world to see it, it was inspiring for other people that are going through the same thing. You did it amazingly, and it was done with such purpose.
Yeah.
And sensitivity, I think, like
A purpose that you probably didn't even realize at the time.
exactly.
Yeah. It was hard too because like we like had good intentions, but everybody always questions your intentions and like it was hard when people would be like, "Oh, you guys are he just wants attention. He's just you know, showing himself sick and like boohoo, like we're all like fucking have our shit." And,
Yeah,
like,
well, that's people who don't understand
People
putting
say
your
the most
life online.
Ignorant, dumb shit on social media. If I've learned anything, like literally, people say the dumbest
craziest
shit,
shit.
and I'm just like, I can't believe people like this exist in the world.
I know.
Like the ignorance is beyond me.
you
That
kind of
was brave, though. Think about it. How brave it was for him
Yeah.
to do that.
No, of course. And then there's ignorant people being like, "Oh, boo-hoo, we all have our own problems."
You know what I've
Bitch, name one
learned?
worse than
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
right.
You know what I've learned about posting online now that I'm like in it as to when I wasn't a part of it? I feel like 8 out of 10 people in a room want to post their life
100%.
online, and only one of them have the balls to actually do it. So
it's
I
the
commend
truth.
anyone
Really?
that
That's interesting.
I
never thought
commend
of it.
anyone who puts their life out online
Not only their life,
because,
their end of life.
well,
That to me is.
yeah, that's a whole other
I
thing.
don't even have the words, honestly. I don't.
Yeah.
And it was touching and amazing and literally like wow, like the balls for both of you and for you to have to care for it. Yeah, I was definitely.
What's the relationship now like with his family? Does he have siblings? I know you like talk about the parents sometimes, but like behind closed doors.
So, I'm so close with them. I was
I
actually just
love
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It's
is my
beautiful.
favorite part of seeing this whole thing is
Yeah.
like how close he remains with his family.
Yeah, I feel
And,
like you're there like saving grace in a
how
way.
cute his dynamic with his dad is with you. That like makes my heart
She's
scream.
the remaining extension.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Yeah. Which is such a beautiful thing, but it could like hold a little bit of weight because I'm like, what does that mean?
You don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. You know, even the way that
Yeah.
like I communicate like my thoughts online, like I have an army of people that are like, yes, like keep putting his name out. We love like
Yeah.
keep his legacy alive, but like, you know, I just don't want to fuck it up.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you're always like my manager, for example, is always like, just be free and just talk here. And I'm like, I can't, I'm not just like a regular, sometimes it feels like 26-year-old that can just go da 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 da. Like
Yeah.
I have to strategically sit down sometimes and say like, what am I trying to say and how? Because like it's a very sensitive, you know, thing. And not even just when I'm talking about that, but like because of like my story, like everything that I do, you know, needs to be as much as I can with grace. You know, like try
Right.
and move as best as I can. But
Are
it's
there
hard.
ever times that you like say to yourself or like think to yourself like, if I'm constantly on social media, like bringing up Francesco, then maybe I'm not allowing his family to grieve properly. Because it's like someone like me, right? Like I lost my grandmother, let's say, but I'm not constantly seeing or hearing about my grandmother every single day on social media. So it's like I was able to almost like grieve it. And like, of course, you see something that reminds you of her or whatever, but like I'm not being reminded every day. So like, do you ever feel that sometimes like by constantly bringing it up or talking about it, like maybe it's not allowing them to grieve like fully? Do they ever like say to you how it bothers them or something like that?
This is such a great conversation because you would think that this would, limit their journey and healing, but it's the opposite. Yeah. Like
That's
when I
great.
stop, if I have a period, for example, with dating, like, what? Where's Francesca?
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, I
I
love
go, of course. This is what keeps them alive.
Yeah.
I love that.
And because
is
it kept
pressure
him
too
alive.
for you.
Because him showing up to the world was beyond obviously his family and the people he loved, but was his purpose. So like that now it's his purpose, and I'm like, they love it. And
I love that.
it's hard because sometimes I think that they love it so much, and I do think that regardless of the fact that they love it, without them realizing it does
Yeah,
limit their grief. I think it holds them back a little bit because they're so stuck in it, and
of course.
I don't think they even acknowledge that it holds them back. But from there, they love it. They love it.
How do the parents take this next chapter of your life? I know you're close with them, so are they along for the ride of like dating, meeting new guys?
So at first, I think like they knew it was coming. I think that like they appreciate almost the 2-year mark of like giving it some time and grace, because that is what truly I needed anyway. But it was a little bit hard at first. But I told myself that what I'm going to do is like, I have to like step into it with authority and integrity and say like, I'm ready for this. So it's either you're with me or you're not.
Right.
Because like if I go in weak, everybody's gonna be like, well, you can wait a couple more months.
Yeah.
I knew there was so much wiggle room because nobody is ever gonna really be ready, including myself. So I was like, I need to just be like, this is it.
Yeah.
We're going in. So that's kind of what I did one day. I was like, hey, like I have a date tomorrow. And they're like, okay. Like at first, at this point where we're at, it's kind of like whenever I go there, I was just there the other day. They're like, what's this guy? You didn't pay for your thing? Like, so it's nice to know that we got there finally.
Yeah.
And I'm just
You're almost
grateful.
like a daughter now to them.
Yeah.
So.
His dad always tells me that he really wants to walk me down the aisle when I get married, which is really sweet.
That's cute.
That's beautiful.
All right, so we know how they feel about dating. We know how we feel about dating, obviously. So let's see how some mob wives feel about some speed dating with this little clip.
Do you model? I'm in a national firefighter calendar.
That's your page?
For example.
That's nice. This is so demented. So you're single, no kids, no nothing.
Engaged.
What do you mean you're engaged? What, he has a fiance. Wait, she's my one is like me, and she's gonna come in here like a maniac.
Wow.
Let me tell you something right now.
Why?
If I was sitting at that motherfucking speed dating table, the one that told me they were engaged, I would have been like, are you out of your fucking bird? I would have felt the same way Drita did. You hand me the calendar with you half fucking naked, I would have been like, buddy, is this about me or you? I'm going to be in a power struggle with you in the fucking relationship? Don't think so.
I agree.
I mean, these guys are nuts. This is why I can't do nothing like this. I would abuse them. Abuse them.
You've never watched Mob Wives before, so that's your first clip.
That's my first
You
clip.
got treated to a very nice one. We should have given her one of the others. Just to get the real reaction, because they're all a bunch of nut jobs. But you got a good one, and Drita's very funny. And this online speed dating was very apropos to what we're talking to. But what do you think, just from what you've seen?
I love how she's just like straight up. Like she came in with the questions that she needed. Like that's kind of how I am. Like when I sit at a table, I'm like, I already know what I need to know before knowing if there's a second date kind of vibe. Like she just like came correct to me.
How would you feel at a speed dating table if you seen that? Like, would you be like, my guy, you're engaged. What are you doing? You must not be happy.
At that point, it's just like, get me a shot. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Like I would do what you would do. I just
happening?
abuse them.
Abuse them.
Yeah.
But this is why I don't even bother dating. So like, how do you do it? I don't understand. Do you run into this? Do I only run into it?
No. Why do I not run into it? Well, let me not knock on wood here because I'm still fairly new to start in November. All right, so you gotta give me a little more time. Let's talk a year and then we'll see what happens. But not yet. So far, everybody's been like so on their A game, and like I don't know if it's because of like what I do. Like you said, my story's out there, and they feel like they need to be very to the T. I don't know, but I'm having great experiences so far.
Good.
Thank God one of us
they
is.
laugh.
I mean, really.
Thank God someone is.
Where are you meeting your guys?
I'm not meeting anyone. Ugh,
Put
guys,
yourself out there. You're not going out enough.
I go out too much, I think. I don't know. I'm staying home now. I went out too much. I used that card too much.
We're very
Didn't
to
work.
ourselves. We don't want to
Yeah.
talk to anybody. That's
I'm
the
not
problem.
even looking
There's no-
anymore
there's
because
no
I'm just like, I'm so over
invitation.
it.
Yeah.
I'm
No
over the
invitation to come
nonsense.
in.
I'm over everything.
What? No?
I want a man to be a man. Come up to me, talk to me, be interested in me.
I agree. Rob, why are you single?
I am single because A, there's no one who can tame this larger than life personality, these unrealistic expectations, and there will never, ever be someone walking this motherfucking earth who's gonna tell me what I can and cannot do.
I agree.
I
No
agree
one.
with that.
Sorry. My father can't tell me what to do. My mother can't tell me what to do. And Jesus Christ can't tell me what to do. The only person who bosses me around is my 8-year-old nephew. Other than that,
Within reason.
I'm just like, I'm just,
Agree.
I think I am so traumatized by what I see my girlfriends go through that it's like, it's giving me like a twisted sense of like what a relationship is.
But why do you think people are having bad experiences dating? Like, what is it? What, like,
Because people are something, try to be something that they're not. I don't
Okay.
think that there's enough authenticity
interesting.
in there.
Okay.
And it may just be like, because we live in a very
Yeah.
like bubble out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
feel
like
like
I-
we're way too like sheltered in the
Yeah.
dating community.
Mm.
I also know my taste ain't good. Ain't good.
It's
Absolutely not.
What's your taste?
Just a bit egotistical, narcissistic. I know they're egotistical and I know
That's
they're narcissistic.
terrible.
I don't know
No.
why I still like them. It's terrible. I don't know why I like the same type of I could spot the prototype of man I like from a mile away and I should run. Instead of running from, I run to. I don't know why.
We gotta do
I
some
don't know
inner
why.
work.
I think I've worked it out of my system.
And she
Yeah.
doesn't
Because
really,
now I'm just disgusted by it. Like,
Now she don't want to talk to anybody.
now I'm disgusted by it.
so she's asexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm just at a place
On
in
the
my life
couch with her fake fireplace.
with my fireplace TV.
I'm dead.
I
You have
enjoy.
that?
Yeah. I put a fireplace on my TV. It's not even a Eula.
I'm outside. I go out all the
Nothing.
time, but I'm still not meeting no one.
Because you know what it is too? I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like if I go out, right, I meet someone in the club. That means you like going to the club, right? I don't like going to the club.
Right.
Not
So like,
necessarily.
don't think
no.
you're ever gonna find me here again.
That's not true though, because a lot of the people think they have to go out to meet someone who have the same thought process that you have. That I have to go out to meet someone. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're a club rat or they like to be outside
Yeah.
like that.
The best place you're gonna meet someone is walking down the street,
I
at
know,
Starbucks,
like,
in the
I
supermarket,
can't meet
by
somebody-
accident,
yeah.
a friend's friend,
Yeah.
at a party.
That's what I want to happen. Like I can't just meet somebody like at the grocery store.
Well, you have a wedding in Vegas. Oh, that's a bachelor.
a bachelor party.
Oh, that's even better, right?
I think so. Schmooze some people,
No, she's gonna
pay
meet the
some
stripper,
bottles.
the male stripper that they
Yeah. Nah, I can't be
can't.
digging a male stripper.
That's what you know what it is. I don't want to say I think because I have a firm belief where like I don't think anybody has unrealistic expectations. I don't think any girl has crazy boundaries. Oh, your boundaries are too high. No, because if you could imagine it, then it exists, right? Like no one imagines a fake reality.
Yeah.
If you could imagine it, then it exists.
Yeah.
So I just think that like in my head, I have such like a check, like a book of whatever things that I want a man to have or whatever. But if you're not, I'm not willing to bend. Like
Yeah.
I've come this far. I'm not just gonna. I didn't come this far just to come this far, right? Who said that? Kim Kardashian or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's facts.
I'm not coming this far. Like to 28 years old, I've lived 28 years of my life being single for the most part, and like I'm not gonna settle now.
I
Why?
agree.
Because I feel like I'm getting old.
No.
I'll live 28 more years, still single. I'm not gonna settle because I feel like there's a time. Like my biological clock is not ticking. If I want kids
Oh, you
bad
got
enough, I
plenty
can
of
have them on my
time.
own.
But you have plenty of time.
Yeah, like I don't.
Yeah.
Too many people, in my opinion, set unrealistic expectations on like a timeline of their life. Oh, by
Yeah.
this age I want this. By this age I want that. No, it's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
no,
You
it's
plan
not.
and God laughs.
Yep, you're right.
You can't even
That's a
write
perfect way to
relationship
say
on
it.
TV.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah,
Did you
you're good at this.
did you ever like have to do a storyline or write a guy into a show? Like anything on Mob Wives, was any relationship manufactured for the show or the relationship we saw, were they?
Yeah, I wouldn't say manufactured for the show. I would say, like, I knew going in, this is not going to last. Like, when Renee brought the guy,
Delicious.
but it sparked such great drama and controversy. When she brought him in, I'm like, that's not going to be her boyfriend. But she was actually dating him for the couple of weeks that she was, and Natalie smelled him and said he smelled delicious. My sister lost her mind. What the fuck are you smelling my guy? Delicious. It went on for fucking episodes. This one word, delicious. So that was one thing. We never really, we forced Renee to go on a date as an extension of that online dating.
Did you ever
but
find the
other than
guys? Like, who vetted the guy out for Renee?
that was one of my producers. I definitely would not have anything to do with that because I would pick the total wrong person. Well, they all did, but.
Would you ever do a dating show that's like just about you and?
Yes, definitely.
Would you ever want to be set up? Like if I was like, Kaitlin, I have somebody for you, I think they'd be so perfect. Like, would you go on a date with them?
It depends on who. Like, if you're setting me up, I'd be like, yeah, let's see it.
Okay.
I have to trust the person that's trying to set me up. If it's like one of
I agree.
my bozo pals, I'd
You
be
like
like,
older guys or
sorry.
younger guys?
Definitely older. I would prefer like someone like 29, 30.
Okay.
31.
Okay.
A baby.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, still a baby? Why, what do you
In
want?
Antonia's world.
No, it's not what I want. Everyone jokes. I have daddy issues, this, that, and the other thing. But you know what it is?
You want
I've
like a
always-
40-year-old?
40's young for
Higher.
Young
I'm
for
going-
me.
No,
No, you know what it is?
Antonia.
I always had a misconception that older means more mature, means maturity, means established, means this, that, and
And
the other
what
thing.
have you learned?
I found quite the opposite.
Well, because why
But
are
I'm
they
also looking
single at that
I'm
age?
also looking in
Right.
low places.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
I'm
already been
looking in-
married, children, the kids are older than her.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I want Antonia with a nice
I want a nice, no, to be honest with you, I think
26 to 30-year-old Italian boy.
That's too young.
No.
That's definitely too
I
young.
would never go 26. It's younger than me.
35.
I want you, like,
I'm not trying to
build
argue
with him.
nobody. I'm good.
No babysitting here.
Somebody between like 35, even 40, I would go. 35, 40.
But then, like,
I would take being a stepmom too. I fucking love kids to death.
Really?
Yeah. Love that shit.
I always said that.
interesting.
Yeah.
I was a stepmom.
Huh.
Yeah. It's
I
easy.
love it.
I like that.
It's easy?
Yeah, because you don't have to bird the little bastards.
I know.
Like,
For real.
Do you have kids of your own?
I have one. Yes. I think you know him, Justin Cross.
I think I do.
Yeah. So I won. I wanted 5, which was a total misconception.
5?
Yeah.
That's
After
what I say
one,
right
I couldn't
now.
handle any more than that. But he had a brother. My ex had a son before that, so I was his stepmom. And then I like it. I think I know I could love someone else's kids, hands down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I've done it. So
I know, I love that. I just feel like everyone's like, oh my God, I'll never forget. I will never forget. So my father's been married multiple times. He's probably going to shoot me for saying this, but whatever. He's been married and divorced multiple times.
Wow.
I've had
multiple.
Yeah, give us the
5 to be exact. Oh my God. So, P.S.
Fucking engaged
19 times. You stupid bitch. P.S. I will never forget. One of them turns around and tells me. One of them turns around and tells me, you don't want, now you're speaking to your husband's child, okay? Or your, whatever, your fiance's
Your
child.
stepdaughter.
Literally. Says to me, you don't want a man who has kids. Then that means that, like, they got to give half of what they have to them. And then it just becomes a financial burden. And then you get half of everything because they got to spend the money on the kid. I'm like, hi, sweetie, I'm the kid.
Yeah.
Bad, maybe
and
bad,
I
not
would
the
have been
right
like, and I'm
time.
getting it all.
Exactly. Not the right time, not the right place. If you haven't seen the way this story goes, I'll tell you. You'll get disposed of and I'll still fucking be here. So, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh,
but
your
whatever.
dad would pick you over her? Good.
Yeah.
He's got no
always.
choice.
He's got no choice. I don't leave the man alone.
That's not
you guys are
necessarily
close.
not all
No,
dads pick
it's
the
not.
kid.
I know.
Yes.
You guys,
It's
you're
true.
close with your dad?
Yes.
Good.
Me and my dad have had our ups and downs, but it's mostly because me and my dad are very similar. So, like, me and my dad, like, I'll give it to my dad straight. Where, like, my brother, the world could be blowing up around my brother. He would, like, not even know.
Yeah.
My sisters would, like, never speak up. Like, I speak up. Me and my dad, we fight. Like, we're divorced all the time. So we come a long way, but we are very close now. Like I feel like my dad is like one of my best friends.
The roles reverse as you get older. Like the parent becomes the child, and the child becomes the parent.
Yeah.
You know what it?
In a way.
It's also like when my parents got divorced, I harbored a lot of resentment, like towards the whole situation and like the things that I went through and the series of events and whatever. But I also have to realize like I wasn't the one just like going through shit. Like my dad was too.
Yeah.
And I think it took me a lot
what
of
about
time.
your mother?
No, my mother too, but I never resented my mother. I never stopped speaking to her.
Yeah.
With my dad, it's like, you know, that's your dad. Like he was the provider. He was this, he was that. So it's like when that whole thing happened, I like resented him a lot for a lot of shit that he put me through and like whatever. But I also, as I grew up, I realized things from his perspective. And I'm like, okay, I realized.
Yeah.
Did you apologize?
I guess kind of, but not really. I don't know.
It's like a half apology.
Yeah.
We just, yeah.
I just
kind
spoke to
of.
him again. That was enough.
Yeah, really. But I also tell my father I would never take back anything that you put me through because it made me who I am today. And I'm like so content with my character today. But I know if my life had a different trajectory, I'd never be the person I was.
Right.
So I'm happy with who I am. So I'm happy for what I went through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I love that.
Yeah. Which I'm sure you could say, especially going through everything with Francesco.
Yep.
Anyone going through something that was very, you know, traumatic, dramatic, that molds you to be the person you are today.
Absolutely.
So I think if anything is to take away from a traumatic event.
But I love what you said. It's either makes you better or bitter.
Yeah.
So hopefully it makes you better because that's so true. I never thought that's a beautiful quote.
Yeah.
I never even heard of that before.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, I
Queen
know.
Aristotle.
You might have to write a quote book.
You're obviously big on TikTok, Instagram. You're in the internet world. What did you think of the mob wife aesthetic that shook up?
The mob life
TikTok?
aesthetic?
The mob wife aesthetic.
I
You
don't
didn't see
think
the
she
mob
heard
wife
of it.
aesthetic.
No, wait, there was this. I didn't know about this.
We gotta get you on.
You need to culture
our
me.
algorithm on our algorithm.
Yeah.
I know,
real.
I do. Wait, they were brawling out?
No. So
No.
No,
recently,
all the TikTok girlies were doing the mob wife aesthetic.
How they were
Oh,
the
like
clean-
sounds?
No, like the clean girl
the look.
aesthetic was out. How they were doing, you know, like slick back buns, gold hoops, all that type of thing. They were saying clean
Leopard
girl
dresses.
aesthetic was out, but mob wife's aesthetic was in. So for the winter, it was like leopard and leather and furs and
Oh.
red lipstick. And
Listen
big
to me.
glasses and
Before
big
it gets
bags.
hot out, we're going to her house.
Yes, please.
And
do.
we're dressing her up in our version of the mob wife aesthetic with her clothes.
I was a
real.
mob wife
'Cause-
once for Halloween.
Okay, there you
Oh,
go.
there you
Thank
go.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Which
sorry.
mob wife were you?
General one.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you guys, you created this, so it's in Spirit Halloween.
Yes.
Go
Yes,
you. That's a like legendary. Like what? That's sick.
I'm done. I love that.
Yeah.
Listen, once you're a Halloween costume, you know you're doing something.
You know how
made
many
it. You
Halloween
made it.
themed mob wives parties I've been to?
Oh, good.
Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I gotta watch the
That's
show.
hilarious.
That's my homework.
Yes.
Like actually.
Watch it.
My mom loves it. She's like, you gotta culture yourself. I'm like, I got it.
I'm not sure that's how to do it. But, you know, it's good. It was fun for some, and it's a wild ride. I'll tell you that.
Did
And
it go the
it's-
way you wanted it to?
I can't say not. It was a lot more dramatic and stressful for me as a producer than I wanted it to be because these girls were always fighting and they were so super real
Wow.
in terms of, you know, success and financially. We sold in 27 countries internationally.
Wow.
No, territories, which is like over 100 countries. And, you know, 4 spinoffs.
Wow.
So
Wow. Good for you.
that part went good.
Good for you.
It was a lot of fucking turmoil, though, in
Yeah.
my life.
Everything is hard work
I
when it's
lost
that
friends
successful.
behind it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but
That's
You're right.
incredible. Wow.
Anything
Wow.
you're working on right now? Like what's next for you? Anything you want to tell our viewers about your healing journey? Some advice? What's next? Like
What's next is my podcast is coming back out, which has
Love
been
that.
gone for a while. Yeah. Thank
What's
you
your
guys.
podcast called?
It's gonna still be Let's Talk with Kaitlin Reagan. Just now we're not gonna just make it like grief related. I as a human as well, just like constantly talking about it is looping me. So I do want to move forward, but always making it a part of me and like a part of like the episodes. But and just continuously growing and like just navigating this new life of mine. So every day it's just lifestyle content, just a freaking girl just trying to figure it out.
I love
That's it. Nothing as of right now that's like huge that I can announce. Hopefully I will have something if you ask me in
you
like a
should
couple
pursue
months.
the TV series. I'm
I
telling you, you
know.
should.
I know. Yeah,
besides
we need to
TV, I
discuss.
see you giving advice.
Yeah.
Like not a talk show, but like I see you doing something where like 30 minutes, little girls, young girls, older girls, they're asking you questions because.
Well, I feel like you almost have a version of that now where you have like that little network that you do on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have like all the people in it and you kind of just like give your advice
Yeah.
every day. You
Yeah.
like, it's basically like one big group chat that like people could join. And she kind of just talks in it every day. And I'm a part of it, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And today you gave like,
I gotta join that.
What is it, like a live?
no, it's like a
broadcasting channel thing.
That's
Well,
what
I'm
it's
working
called.
on a live show, so that's kind of similar to in Union Square, which is we're just debating like when it's gonna be, but talking live and having a Q&A at the end. So I guess you're kind of like manifesting that.
No, I see
Yeah,
that for you.
yeah.
And
I
I
love
like
that.
public speaking, but I see you like, you fit a lot of places where like people can't, like questions that if someone asked me the questions I asked you today, I wouldn't even know how to answer them.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know, honestly. 'Cause
Because
I'm
like I don't.
do I even know what I'm doing?
No, you
Yeah.
do. You do. You do.
Do any of us know what the fuck we're doing?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'm here. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Literally.
Amazing.
All right, so that was so fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me
Thank you for
on.
coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's an honor to be here. I love it. Staten Island is always just gonna be a fun place for me. I know you guys don't love it, but I love it.
The vibes are here.
The vibes are here.
But the vibes are in Brooklyn. I feel like Brooklyn is so much more real.
I
You guys
love
have
to
the real
live here.
accents.
I love to live here. I just don't like to play here. Like there's
Did you hear
nowhere to
what she just
play.
said?
What?
Say it again.
You guys have the real accents. Like the real New York
No,
accents
no.
are here.
Let me tell you something right
just
now.
had this
Brooklyn,
conversation.
Really?
Brooklyn has the accent.
Really?
You know,
I
but
feel
Brooklyn
like-
has gotten that
No.
gentrified.
No.
I feel like Brooklyn people are losing the accent.
No, downtown.
I don't care what anyone
no,
says.
like different Brooklyn, like
Right.
Dumbo Brooklyn, like
They
that
don't
type
know.
shit.
No,
Like,
Bay
they're
Ridge, the
Polk Slope.
Bensonhurst still has it.
Yeah, Bay
That's-
Ridge,
yeah.
Bensonhurst, or Dyker
No, I
Heights.
see.
They still have that hard Brooklyn
But
accent.
you have the
Yes,
real deal,
yes.
right?
No, but I feel like Staten Island is like like ours.
Slang.
If you're born and bred in
accent
Staten Island,
slang.
you have garbage. Like I'm Brooklyn bred, Staten Island raised,
Yeah.
whatever
Okay.
I say. Brooklyn born, Staten Island raised.
I didn't move to Staten Island until I was like 11, 12 years old.
Oh,
I am
wow.
born and raised in this
Yeah, no.
beautiful place.
Yeah. A lot of people like die to come here. Like, I want to go to Staten Island. I want to see it.
That's weird. That's weird energy. You want to pay that motherfucking easy pass.
And we're
ride
dying to
home?
get out.
No, dying to leave. But anyway,
I left and came back. How sad is that?
yeah, that's.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course, yeah. Thank you
you so
guys
much
for
for
having
coming.
me.
Well, that's about it for today. Thank you for coming, Kaitlin. Everybody go and follow her, Kaitlin Reagan, on TikTok, Instagram, and anything else.
That's it. It's good.
That's it. And then don't forget to follow us, The Real Rob Pep, Tonzi Macaroni, Jen Graziano, and the Straight Now Podcast.
Woo, that was
You
fire.
better fucking follow us.